will be right there. All right.
All right, you are listening to the Goodfoot Podcast. This is M.
And this is Q. And this is the raw and real for the communal ideal. M, tell them what that is all about.
So, the raw and real for the communal ideal on the Goodfoot Podcast. We are an educational platform for individuals motivated by the artists who pave their path through the street dance community. We want to serve as a hub for honest conversation about the diverse perspectives on the origins, dissemination, current state, and future of the culture.
That's a lot of words, yo.
That's a lot. It's chock full of layers.
So break that down for him. What does that stuff mean? It's a lot of words. What we doing up in here?
So we want to have a place where, we want to have this platform for honest conversation. We want to be able to exchange ideas freely. We want to be able to, pay a tribute to our teachers and the artists making an impact in the street dance community. We want to have a widely encompassing view on different perspectives, cross-cultural, racial, different gender, Where am I looking right now?
All of the things.
All the things. Q, do you want to discuss who is our target audience here? Who are we interested in hearing from?
All right, we're speaking to all fans of street dance, all fans of street dance activists and scholars. We're also talking to all my poppers out there, my lockers, my B-boys and B-girls, housers, whackers, flexers, light feeders, and all the styles in between. We're definitely talking to and about you. We want to hear from you all as well. And then also to all the individuals who just claim themselves to be a part of the hip-hop community in general. A lot of the things that we're going to be talking about in regards to street dance definitely coincide and intersect with topics around hip-hop culture and hip-hop community as a whole. And so we want to hear from y'all. And then finally, we're here to serve the community in a couple of different ways. And so, Em, why don't you tell them the ways in which we want to serve the community?
All right. So here on the Goodfoot Podcast, we want to create a platform for consumers of the culture, which can mean a lot of different things, and practitioners, such as myself and Q, of the street dance culture to have open and honest dialogue. And I would think that an open and honest dialogue for me is, coming to the forefront with who you are and how you see yourself within this culture and your own background, and being honest about what that is, and being able to be checked about what that is, and being able to, put the ego aside in order to have, honest conversation that could lead to some, really provocative things, some really provocative questions, and being able to dissect that and shed light on topics surrounding this culture all the time that are always being tested and questioned. I said questioned like
Oh, your hair feels so good. I mean, we're the one thing about the street dance community is that we constantly are proud of this notion of getting together, dancing with one another, leaving all of our crap at the door, and just jamming with one another. The thing is, it is a culture, it is a community, and we're talking about people, we're talking about mindsets, worldviews, religious beliefs, spiritual ways of thinking, and all of these things we carry with us into our dance. However, we don't tend to talk about them as much because we just let it go. We're already dealing with that so much outside in the outside world. So we just dance. We just want to get together and jam. And that is a beautiful thing, and it creates a beautiful environment. However, a lot of the implication, the silence that happens from just dancing ends up marginalizing people, oppressing people, intimidating people. And so we are really interested in keeping that open dialogue going, or not, maybe not even keeping it, maybe reopening or just starting a consistent dialogue, verbal dialogue about everything around the dance.
Right. And, we are, as dancers, we are these physical historians. And I think it's just as important as being able to be practitioners of the dance, but also being able to speak eloquently to them, because we hold this responsibility of, you know, passing down this information in a responsible way, in a way that is not appropriating, in a way that is pushing the culture forward.
And so ultimately, we want to put down these boundaries that we consistently put up in the community in order to chase a culture of unity.
Yeah, definitely. And we hope to ask hard questions that explore why people are affiliated with the street dance culture, while simultaneously establishing the responsibilities that come with that affiliation. Um, yeah, so Q, what kind of responsibilities do you feel like you hold as a practitioner of street dance culture?
Yeah, I first think that before I'm a practitioner, that I definitely feel as though I'm a guest, considering I did not come from the certain elements that many hip hop and street dance practitioners have come from. I'm one from a two-parent home. I'm one from a middle to upper class upbringing. I'm one from living and growing up in environments where gang centrism or street violence or drug centrism was not a thing or a worry in my childhood. And so even as on the surface, with being a black male, I could put on that mask of being solely a practitioner. There's a lot of other elements that see me more as a guest. And so I want to claim that first, and then having said that, I do choose to be in this culture and serve this culture, and so in choosing to do that, the responsibilities that come with it, I feel is constantly just uplifting the other people to which I stand on the shoulders of, and so I feel a responsibility to constantly check myself, put my ego away, marginalize myself, and put the people who I stand on at the center.
Beautiful.
How about you?
Totally. Um, yeah, I mean, similarly, I also view myself and always will view myself as a guest of the culture. I came into the street dance culture and was introduced to the street dance culture through academia, through a university setting, which isn't how these different street dance cultures came about in the first place. And I think I consider it a huge responsibility as a white female who's stepped into this culture, and feeling as though I identify myself now as a street dancer. How am I passing this information on as a physical historian? How am I passing this information on as a white female? Like, how am I I don't know. How am I bridging gaps instead of closing them? How am I receiving information? How am I talking about different, issues that surround the street dance culture? How am I allowing myself to be checked in these notions? And how can I be a voice, or a vessel for others like myself who feel very intimidated coming into the street dance community, and how can we build each other up from there in a progressive way, in a positive way.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's really good. I feel as though as we're speaking, there's like this part of me that screams like, yo, I just want to dance, yo. Like, let me just dance. Why can't I just dance? It's interesting. It looks cool. It's visually pleasing. And I just let me move.
Right.
And
I think, and that's an important part of it too.
Yeah, I do agree. I feel as though for me personally, my wanting to lean into the responsibility of it allows me to appreciate the times where I can just dance more. It's because of the work that I put in. It's because of the responsibility that I claim that I'm able to really be free and really enjoy those times of blissfulness where I do get to just dance. Because at least, again, for me, I'm realizing more and more as I become a practitioner of the community that the dance is really a privilege, and not any kind of right, not any kind of thing that I am obligated to or entitled to, more so. But that it's a privilege. And so as I do that work, that privilege foregrounds itself.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
What drew you to street dance in the first place?
Virgil Lilo Gatson. Well, as far as being I would say he's the first person that comes to my mind when I think of me wanting to do this with my life. I've been interested in street dance since the early 2000s with You Got Served. You Got Served came out in 2004. I was obsessed with it. There was Dance 360 on the WB. I was obsessed with it. What else was happening during that time? I think So You Think You Can Dance just started. And yeah, it was just a lot of this re-exploitation of hip-hop culture in many different ways during that time, and I was a huge consumer of it. So I was just like, how do you dance like that? Like, how do you move like that? So that's what got me intrigued. I started practicing, and of course my dad is like, boy, we was doing this 30 years ago when I was your age. And so then he would send me, he got me Breaking 2, Beat Street, which I was obsessed with. Yeah, I mean, which is ironic because he's so not about hip hop.
Day one.
He is not about hip hop at all. But when he was a kid, he was really interested in that stuff. He was popping himself. And so he knows about these forms, and that was something that we actually connected on. And so he sent me those videos, and I became a student of those videos. I was just hitting 1/64th speed on the DVD so I could copy every single thing Turbo was doing.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's the beginning of my street dance introduction. How about you?
I was drawn to street dance because I never thought I was allowed into it.
That's so ironic.
And then once I started taking class.
Wait, hold up. Can we back up real quick?
Uh-huh.
Because that's like, I feel like one that might be like very hip hop of you. Like, it sounds like that's a very rebellious side. Like, it felt like I couldn't go in, so I'm interested in going in.
Well, here, I'll expand on that. So, I had to take a, I had to take a, well, I took funk styles. I took popping and locking with Mr. Larry Love of Denver, Colorado, to complete my Bachelor of Fine Arts. And I think once I started to realize how accepting the dance was and how accepting the community was, it made me like realize how much my feelings of not being included in that community were so much in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the freedom I felt in my body as opposed to ballet, like being able to just rock to some music and like finding the expression in that and like being allowed to be social and interactive with the music and interactive with people while learning about my own, my own privilege and who I am through this new culture, like that was so dope to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounded like you had a lot of stereotypes about street dance in general, and then finding some of the realities of it totally rocked your boat.
Absolutely, and continues to every single day.
Yeah, that's dope. That's real good. So the last thing that we hope to do as far as our goals, we want to analyze and break down street dance history in order to facilitate more positive progression in our future. And so we really want to take what has happened since the 70s, 80s, and beyond until now, and take a deeper look as to what those events were, who those people were, in order to look into the future and see what we can do as a community to grow as a unit. What were mistakes that we've done in the past that we can escape this time? Mm-hmm. What were positive things that we've done in the past that we can hone in on and do even better?
How can we make the foundations proud? How can we make the elders proud? How do we be responsible in passing the torch, so to speak, or carrying this information on?
Mm-hmm.
So, what can we expect on an episode of The Good Foot, Q?
Yo, hella dopeness. That's what you're going to expect, all right? So we got mad things for you guys. I'm really excited to bring it. We're going to do a little segment called The Meat. And really, we're just getting into the meat.
You said so much better.
We need an echo chamber up in here.
We do.
So we're just getting into topics, as we said, the things that need to be talked about surrounding the dance floor, that of course influence the dance, but they're all unsaid rules, unsaid regulations.
Right.
And so we're going to bring those things to the forefront and really dig into it. We'll of course have our own opinions about those things, but we also want to bring guest speakers of and from the culture to talk about these things with them, to get ourselves checked about these things, because we do not look at ourselves as masters of the culture. As I said before, I know for myself, I am a guest of this culture, and so we invite people who have been doing this a lot longer than us to come in and check us or agree with us. That's cool too. I'm not mad at that. But Em, go ahead and tell them what else we got going on for them.
Here's what else we got going on. So we are, looking to have some trivia questions, seeing what you know and what you don't know. Do you know your shit or not? We're going to find out. I'm going to find out if Q knows his shit. He's going to find out if I know mine.
I know mine.
We are excited to provide opportunities to learn about what's going on in the New York City street dance community and beyond. Events, battles, classes, workshops, shows, parties, discussions.
All of the things.
All the things. And then we're excited to also reveal something we've been working on, which is our street dance tree.
Tree.
Q.
What?
Echo. You're Q. I meant Q like Q.
Cue the echo. Ha ha. Funny.
So, we're going to hopefully it will be.
Amen.
An opportunity to see who's been on our show, where their histories lie, where they link up to other people in the community, what they're teaching, what they're doing, and we're excited to connect those roots and So if you'd like to find us or contact us, there's a million ways. Here they all are.
We will end up releasing all these on different not social media, but podcast platforms. So you can find us on all the things: Apple, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and anywhere else that you can think of that does podcast. Let us know. And finally, we would love to have you all's questions, and so feel free to hit us up on social media at The Goodfoot Podcast, or email us at thegoodfootpodcast@gmail.com. We can't wait to hear from you and to have some more discussions.
All right.
I think that's about it.
We need to sign off.
This is Q.
This is M.
And this is The Goodfoot. Y'all stay blessed.
I got